We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve Jack Utella.
And I'm Jill DeWit, broadcasting from sweet Scottsdale, Arizona.
Today, Jill.
You want to say why we're laughing?
I just looked at Jill's notes and she wrote down this word, quesadilla. And we both just burst out laughing. I've never met anyone who writes down in their notes what they want to eat for lunch.
Yep, that's right. It just sounded good. Didn't want to forget, so I wrote it down.
Today, Jill and I talk about becoming an influencer by Jill DeWit. I said this story yesterday. I'll say it again. A couple of weeks ago, we were standing in the kitchen and our number 3 kid, who's a teenager, late teenager, ended a sentence with this, because you guys are influencers on the internet. And we both of us stopped and said, like, I never thought of myself as an influencer. And he looked at us like, people a lot less than you are influencers. So I guess this is show 1500 or something.
1458.
1458. So I guess we do have a lot of content out there, and we are in our little land flipping niche, somewhat of a authority, but Jill's becoming more of an influencer, especially on Clubhouse.
Thank you.
And it's not just what's happening is that this is the reason I really wrote this title. More and more people are asking Jill to share and teach really how to handle these people on the phone, how to handle a seller on the phone, how to handle a buyer on the phone, basically how to, have a personality to do this stuff more successfully, and I'll tell you what, she's 1,000 times more qualified on this topic than I am. I got the second that Jill and I joined forces, I never picked up a phone again, and I couldn't do it fast enough and more happily.
Thanks, babe.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And if you're already a Land Academy member, please join us on Discord.
Scott wrote, "Hello, Land Academy folks. I am putting the final touches on my first mailer, targeting properties between 5 and 20 acres, recreational land.
Excellent.
I have done all the requisite research, like the red, yellow, green test, etc. So I feel good about my county selection. However, I would like to send at least 2,500 pieces for my first mailer, but my chosen county has only just over 1,400 records that meet my criteria. The neighboring counties don't seem strong candidates to add to my mailer in order to get to my target 2,500 units.
Excellent.
So,
excellent question.
Here's my questions. Should I just go with the 1,400 units in my selected county?
No.
Should I add another county in the same state, but not neighboring, maybe an hour away? Should I add another strong candidate from a county from another state? Thanks in advance.
Strong candidate from another state. This does 2 things. It gets you to that 2,500. Thank you for listening, by the way, because we always recommend it in the beginning to send out a bunch. 2,500 is good. 2 things. Add another super strong candidate from another state. This accomplishes diversity too, a diversification. So on a small chance that something weird is going on and there's a bunch of weird gas leases or something. One time I sent a mailer out in New Mexico and there's all these natural gas leases that stopped us from doing any deals there. So this will make you avoid that. And it's kind of an extra insurance policy. Diversification is always good in any type of investment. And number 2, it gets you to that 2,500 unit mark. And then finally, you're doing it between 5 and 20 acres, which is great. Consider expanding it. If the county is that hot, maybe do it. Maybe do 2 from 2 acres or even 1 acre to 40 or 80 acres. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And that might get you to 2,400. In fact, it probably will. 2,500. So both of those things are good. But no, don't. If it's other counties aren't passing, the neighboring counties are not passing the test, then I would find another place.
Good job, Scott.
Yeah,
exactly.
Today's topic: becoming an influencer by Jill DeWit. This is the meat of the show. how did this all start with you? You have such a natural presence on the phone with buyers and sellers, and it translates to such a natural presence in front of a microphone and in front of the camera.
Thank you.
Like, were you a little kid sitting around talking into a Coke bottle?
No. No, you know what? I just was never, I was not shy and kind of like you, kind of a class clown a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I had no trouble out loud saying funny stuff for a laugh. I would do that. That's kind of, I think, where it started for me. I remember one time like in middle school, we had, a talent show and we did a skit. I put the whole thing together and I'm up there, like the MC of the whole skit. And all my dad walked away from that night was, I got to write some content for you. We got to get you up on the comedy show or something like that. He really wanted to be like, he thought I could be a comedian. I'm like, it would have been fun. So I had this, I don't know, natural comfort getting up there. And I think it's in a lot of ways in my life. We talked about that. I'm not afraid to answer the phone. I'm not afraid to, get on a snowmobile and go 70. I like doing stuff like that.
Jill and I went in California a month ago, went to this party, and this guy had this whole outdoor seating television situation, and he cooked a big dinner, and we all sat and watched this movie. And I was sitting in the back. These people are not suffering from lack of personal wealth. Let's just put it that way. It's that kind of group. It's all type A personalities with ADD and too much money. It was
an outdoor viewing event, not recording event.
So of course I'm sitting in the back with these 3 or 4 other people, and the movie starts, and immediately all of us in the back start becoming the class clown.
Oh yeah.
And saying stuff, and everybody was annoyed. Everyone, to the point where we had to leave.
Yeah.
Because I'm not capable.
Sitting still.
I'm not capable of sitting, especially when everybody's got a cocktail in their hand and we're all having fun, and then we have to sit and watch a movie. So the rest of the people in the back, I asked everybody, Jill included, like, were you the class clown? Did you sit in the back and just make everybody laugh because you can't stand what the person's talking about, the teacher's talking about? And everyone said yes, absolutely.
Do you know what's funny? I just got bored. Like, I was like, got the topic, move on. I got it, move on. I wasn't good at you got to teach to the whatever level in the class. I'm like, oh, come on, don't make me sit through this.
I bet 80% of my education, just from a time standpoint, was wasted on just that exact topic. It's like, that's what I love about YouTube. How do you change a light bulb in less than 30 seconds? Yeah. That's all I need.
Done.
I don't need to know about how a light bulb works.
No.
I just need to see how to do it.
No, and I figured it out fast. And if it took you 2 hours, that's on you, not me.
That's what I think.
I did it in 2 minutes. So sorry. But then there's probably a flip side. There's something that you do better than me and you got really fast, and that's okay. So this is so funny to me. So
I have a million questions for you.
Okay, go.
Are you where you want to be?
No.
Do you see? Oh, okay. Where do you want to be?
More. I am not.
You want to be Tony Robbins and stand up out of it?
No.
You want to travel around the country and give live talks?
No.
What do you
maybe.
Want to do? Really?
I don't know. I'm
that's
open
my
to that.
By the way.
Oh, see, I kind of like that.
When we started Land Academy,
I like the instant feedback. That's why I like Clubhouse.
When we started Land Academy, I said this to Jill: I will never get in front of a camera or in front of a microphone. This is all going to be you. I'm going to be in the back. I'll be the producer. I'll manage all the money. I'll handle, all the tech pieces, all of it. And bingo. You know what happened? I started this talk show.
Yeah.
And I was having guests on it, and they would never show up. Yeah. And so I said, Jill, will you just do this with me? After like the second week. And here we are.
Exactly. Yeah, it was the fill-in. That's what's so funny. We started the podcast, and you had all these different people. Some were good, some were not good, and the most didn't show. You're like, I need you. I'm like, okay. That was fun.
And that was all audio only. It was a camera part, not so much the audio, that I just didn't want to do that.
I love the live thing. If honestly, that's where I get the biggest kick. It's an adrenaline rush. And again, it's instant feedback. I know right away, do they like this? Do they not like this? How's it going based on questions people ask? I think it's fun.
I just like helping people. That's really, this is more about you than it is me. But people ask us, like, why do you do this? If it's so profitable, why don't you just go off and do it? I don't know.
This is not my goal in life. Let me back up.
Yeah. What's your goal?
My goal in life is I really love what I'm doing. I love helping people do it because there's enough property to go around. And it just inspires me when when I learned that we somehow helped someone and got them out of a jam, they could afford this, they paid their bills, they kept food on the table, whatever it is. If you have not had that experience and you get that in some way, just like by donating, just donating money, and you get some feedback like, you know what, this really helped this person in this way. I mean, like,
keep the quesadillas on the table.
All right, it's like I don't think there's any. For me, that's the best feeling on the planet. So that's always been my thing. Even as it's funny. My mom used to get mad at me as I was a kid. I'd give away my lunch. I'd give away my lunch money. I'd give away my toys. I'd give away all kinds of things. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, they needed it more than me. Apparently, I'm fine. I know where to get more food. I don't care." And so I've always loved that. I like helping people. So my goal was not growing up to be an influencer or anything like that. My goal was to really help people. And I really love doing that. And I think if you have that attitude and you're doing it, you could naturally fall into something like this. And the biggest component is giving it away. I
completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. I think there's a lot of people on the internet, some of whom have been Land Academy members who want to be famous.
Well, I was going to say there's some people who listen to this show right now who are kind of Land Academy members, and you've been listening to this show for the 5 years we've been doing it, and we answered all your questions, and you're doing your thing. You're not technically a member, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you still are, because we give away all the knowledge and the experience.
There's more people to
questions right here. We probably have 10 times more people in our community, like on the show, listening to the show, that have learned it from us, that have never given us $1, and I don't care.
And I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I'm happy. And honestly, if you wanted to give it back, just shoot me a message. I would love to know, like, you helped me do this or something like that, because that's what motivates me, and I think motivates you. And our staff loves it too when they hear those great stories. So
what's your advice if someone wants to become an influencer?
Don't set out to be an influencer.
I was going to say, just know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, no. Don't even go like that.
So many people
don't like that. That's slimy. If someone says, I'm going to grow up and be an influencer, I'm going to try makeup, and then I'm going to try relationships, and then I'm going to try this, that's just slimy. I think.
And if you're 12 years old, you're not an influencer unless it's about video games. Just don't have any life experience.
I'm going to perfect every dance on TikTok until I'm an influencer. No, I don't like that. I don't think Gary Vee, I know it. Gary Vee didn't set out to do this, and he's a huge influencer. We all know he makes money on the shoes, and there's other things he makes money on. But remember, he was selling wine. He's a wine guy.
Yeah. He's entertaining as hell.
And it was just, I think someone turned the camera on. I don't know. I've never really researched him that much, but the cameras in the boardroom that were just, and the stuff he would say are just comical, that people would naturally follow him. And then it came to, hey, this guy, I like his mindset. I like the way he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
And then he connects with people, and then they follow him. And then he starts helping them, which I really think he is. I think he gives a lot of great talks. And he's really big on helping kids, especially. Get going and do good things. So don't set out to be an influencer, but if you become one, use it the right way.
Yep.
That's all I have to say. Do you have anything else to add?
No. Where do you see this all going?
Oh.
Like, you're just going to do this until people just don't pay attention anymore?
Pretty. No, I think it's going to, you know what? Think of Mary Kay. She wasn't an influencer in her own way. Like if you've ever read any of her books, and I have, and I love them, she is a great, her employees loved her. The way she started this business on her own and built it up, and she didn't step on people, she got stepped on instead. But she hung in there.
I'm a huge fan too.
Yeah. So, and she never stopped, really. And now even that she's passed on, her books are still selling. People are still learning from her.
Do people still sell it? I mean, is that a thing still?
Sure. I'm sure her books. I've bought her books.
Not the books, but like the cosmetics. Do people like?
Oh, I'm sure of it. Oh, yeah.
Have cosmetic
well,
parties?
her son is probably, because he was in the business building it up with her. So I don't know the hierarchy now, but I look at her as like be a good person, be a good boss, build a strong female-led company, really empower people. The way that she treated the independent consultants was phenomenal. And I hope that I can't imagine. I hope I think that's corporate culture, and that's how she's still paying it forward. So you know what? Here's what I would say. Here's how we're going to end. Our corporate culture is also helping like that too. Mm-hmm. Our corporate culture is, hey, you were new someday too, once upon a time, and somebody helped you. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was somebody who was 6 months ahead of you that learned from me. I don't care who it is. Help another guy, help them out. There's enough property to go around. Fund some deals with them.
Sure.
Help them get going. Because you know what? The more you give away, the more you're going to get back. Mm-hmm. Period.
I'm happy you could join us today.
5 days a week. You can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Next week, join us for another interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Jill, you're a pleasure to be business partners with and life partners with. Aww. And I've learned more from you than anyone ever.
Wow.
I mean it.
Thank you. I don't know how to answer that other than...
You don't have to. Just nothing. You don't have to do anything.
You're so sweet. All I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Enjoy your quesadilla.
I'm going to go have my quesadilla. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and give us some feedback on the shows you love.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable, and we really do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give us feedback on the shows you love.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.